Hi, I'm gonna do a spotlight on Cary Grant. I wasn't going to, but then I decided to because yesterday, the 30th of November, was the anniversary of his death. Died in 1986, November 30th. Um, he was 80 something, I forget. But he was gonna do a variety show, and then the night of his variety show, he died of a heart attack. So and I have to say, Cary Grant, I feel like everybody loves Cary Grant. Men, women, children. I mean, you have to love Cary Grant. He is such a likable person. I've seen quite a bit of his films. I don't really own that many. I own 3, but I've seen so many. Like, he's probably one of my most watched actors next to Jimmy Stewart. I've seen 14 Jimmy Stewart movies, maybe 15. I didn't know it was that many, but that's great. And then Humphrey Bogart, I haven't seen as many as I think I have, but Cary Grant is definitely one of the ones that I've seen the most movies from. Maybe pick another one of my favorites, but I haven't seen him in that many, and that's sad. And then William Holden, I haven't seen him in that much either. But Cary Grant, I don't think you can't. I don't think you can say anything negative about him. He was very sweet and very humble, and great actor, and he was great at comedy. And he was great at drama. But like all his movies that I've seen are coming to my head right now, and I want to say them, but they don't make any sense. And I can't name all of them because I don't remember some of the names. There's one I don't remember really, and then there's some that are just I've seen too many and I can't name them all. But I have Charade. I was going to bring the movie that I did own over here, but only own 3, and I don't like that. It's kind of stupid because I've seen so much more than that. I own Charade, I own the Philadelphia Story, and I own Arsenic and Old Lace. And then my mom and stepdad own North by Northwest, which I've seen. And they used to have Gone Get Din, which I've also seen. And His Girl Friday, I don't know if they actually own that one, but I've seen it. So, but yeah, so I've seen quite a bit. And there's still so many that I have to see and I haven't seen. And like Operation Petticoat, I heard that's one of his best, and I just haven't seen it. I need to see it. I've seen Father Goose with him and Leslie Caron, and they were great together. I love it. I have to say I'm pretty biased though because I love Charade and I love Carrie and Audrey Hepburn together. Like my favorite on-screen couple. Especially, I mean, for that time, I guess, at least. That I've seen so far. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen yet, so they might change. Sure. But right now, they are. And so whenever I see him with somebody else, I'm always so critical. I'm like, I don't like my back together. So, but I do love him as Audrey, and then I loved him as Lily Caron. The funny thing is that Carrie was offered the role of Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady, and then he said no because he wanted to do Father Goose, and he wanted Audrey to be in it with him. But then Audrey already signed on to My Fair Lady, and so she couldn't do the movie. So they almost worked together in one point, but things didn't work out that time. But I think it was kind of interesting that they could have, and he was like, no, and then he was like, oh, I kind of worked with her, and I didn't. But I don't think he would have been a good Henry Higgins, much as I love him. I don't think he could have done it justice. Rex Harrison is Henry Higgins, and that's it. But yeah, back to Cary Grant. He was hilarious. He could do comedy, he could do drama, he could do pretty much anything, and he was so humble, so humble. He did not come from the best of whatchamacallit. He didn't have the best past, let's just say. He didn't have the best parents, he didn't have the best upbringing. he wasn't very, I mean, he wasn't treated the way he should have been treated because he was growing up. And the fact that he came out of it so sweet, and he treated everybody so well, it says so much about who he was, and it says how much strength he had and how brave he was. If you read his story, he was a very brave person. He really took care of himself at a very young age, and he did stuff at a young age that got him to where he was. And I think he was incredible, and I think that it's kind of an example that you don't have to be the product of a bad home life, because he was so sweet. And then he had a daughter, and he was such a great father to her, and he was just amazing. And he got the first Lifetime Achievement Award for the Oscars. He was the first one to get that, and I can't picture anyone else getting that except for him, because he deserved it. He never won an Oscar ever in his life. He got the Lifetime Achievement Award, and he was the first one to get it, and he deserved it so much. He deserved he has a real Oscar, but he deserved an Oscar for something, but he never got one. And he also got another award. I forget what award, but he cried. People were like applauding him. He was crying. And when he got the Lifetime Achievement Award, he didn't cry, but he didn't like a lot of attention on himself. And so when they gave him the award, he didn't think anyone was like going to get that excited for him or that happy for him, because he hadn't worked in a really long time. But when he came on the stage, he got one of the longest standing ovations I think ever, and he was so moved and so touched by it, and I just like, what? People still like me? And it's like, yeah, they still do now too. So I'm happy that he knew that he was loved and that people liked him, even if he didn't understand why. And Gregory Peck is the one that helped get him that honorary Oscar, because he was on the chair of the Oscar committee, and Gregory Peck is the one who got him that Oscar. So I love it. I love Gregory Peck too, so it's kind of like a connection. Never worked together, which I think is sad, but they should have, but he helped him get that award. So, little fact of the day. But, yeah, that is all for Cary Grant. What's your favorite Cary Grant film, if you can do that? I know so many of his that are just great. Mine is Charade, I have to say, because it's bad. Anyway, with Audrey was great. But, I also love Arsenic and Old Lace. That's probably one that I've seen so much, because it's only on 3, so but I've seen it so much. So, that is all.